President Biden said at the summit in Vilnius, Lithuania, that NATO is stronger and more united than ever. Is he right? What were the big takeaways from this week's NATO summit?
Yeah, well, this summit really was a test of NATO's unity and its ability to sustain cohesion a year and a half into President Putin's war in Ukraine. And I think it was a pretty good showing from a NATO perspective. The member states were able to come together and bridge divisions at the 11th hour, convincing Turkey and Hungary to basically take the steps needed to cement Sweden's entry into NATO, making Sweden the 32nd member of the alliance. And that's a very big deal because that means that there are now two new members of NATO, Finland and Sweden, that have very strong militaries. And it sends a powerful message to Putin that the West is not going to fracture as the economic and political strains of the war continue. At the same time, the summit was also a reminder of the abiding differences that exist within the alliance, especially when it comes to Ukraine's future with the alliance. What came out was not what some members had hoped, which was a formal invitation for NATO to join for Ukraine to join NATO, but rather a restatement of the fact that Ukraine will eventually join the alliance after the war is concluded. And that was a real disappointment for some of the eastern flank, the frontline states that thought it was important for faster steps to be taken for Ukraine. And it also was a huge disappointment for the Ukrainian government, even though they had sort of put a brave face on it. I think really what they had been hoping for was a more clear and near-term path to becoming a member of NATO. And of course, that would carry with it an important mutual defense clause.